I do not own this character. Rights to Disney. Hello, welcome to my Speedpaint wannabe drawing Astra from Star Darlings. Greetings to you all. So Astra in the actual story of like her personality isn't very much from what I remember. I don't remember actually that much though, so I can't really be the one to tell you how and what she does and how that works. But overall, I remember her just sort of like a sporty character. She's meant to be sporty. The only episode I remember of her is like this one football episode. Well, they didn't call it football, they called it like something like a star pun. There are always the star puns in this show. There's so many. For example, this character's name is Astra. I'm pretty sure we can all guess what that means. And from the sporty, we get that she's also competitive and very over the top with that competitiveness. And obviously, that's her lesson that she learns from that episode. Isn't it always? Yeah. So from the whole sporty, competitive persona, I'm pretty sure you can tell that she's a very normal, sort of sporty character. There's always one of them in almost every show that I've watched, and it's slightly annoying, honestly, because I've never seen anyone this sporty in my life. Let's just put it at that. I've never seen anyone this sporty. It becomes her only character trait, and it's not really something substantial enough that you can go with. It really just becomes, oh, I want to win everything, but I can't, and that's terrible. Oh no. And it really isn't interesting to the viewer at all, because we all know these characters. We've known them from like a long time, yet people still keep making them. And like, it isn't realistic at all. Because sport cannot be your entire life. You have other things to do. You have school or work or like life. And like the character building in this one isn't really substantial because she only had like one episode from what I can remember. And honestly that it wasn't enough to like really make me like her in any way. In fact, I found her annoying because I was like, oh no, another one of those characters. And when a character makes you do that, it's time to stop the trope. Yeah. Like, there's not much to say about her, honestly, because she's just a stereotypical sporty person. It's also very interesting how, over the course of the series, she only speaks in that one episode. I don't think she speaks in the big team up at the end there, which is very interesting if you think about it, because you would expect for her to speak at least in the finale episode, because all the other characters did, but apparently not. Her overall like role in these episodes is not a lot. She has basically one football episode where they're all playing star ball, let's call it. I'm pretty sure it's not star ball. That would be a bit too obvious, but something of that sort. Star ball. And she wants to win, but they're playing against another very talented. I honestly don't know. At this point, I'm just spouting like the most random, stereotypical, unoriginal stuff and just saying that's what happened in these episodes, because I honestly can't remember this episode very much other than she was in it and it was something, and it was like a weird parody of football. That's another thing to talk about. These characters and like the entire franchise has some sort of obsession with just putting star or light or something of that sort everywhere. Almost all the characters have like star inspired names. For example, Vega, that's a star. Leona is a star sign. In fact, there are very few characters who I think don't have some sort of star pun or something to do with just celestialness in their names. And even after that, it's just like, why? Because I get it, they're in space, they're star darlings, but you don't need to shove it in our faces the whole time. Do they not have any other words that they could use? Also, some of the slang the characters use. In that one episode where Libby was all like, ooh, pink boys. She does that a lot, honestly. It's very annoying, and that's her own character trait. In that one episode, they used the word zoomy, and apparently that's a slang word. I can't tell. It's incredibly weird. Like, this show was definitely not written by anyone who's young enough to understand slang, or at least understand slang. It was just very forced sounding, and I'm pretty sure the voice actors were also kind of weirded out by just they're making us say zoomy. What does that even mean? And honestly, this show could have been much better if they just sort of stopped with the overall stereotypical sort of they don't know what they're doing aspect, because I feel like that's what they were trying to go for. They were trying to go for just one of those campy kid shows that when adults see them, they're like, oh, ha 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 ha, oh, I see what you did there. You're making fun of yourself. But it doesn't come out of that. It comes out of more of a, they really don't know what they're doing, are they? Then oh, I see what they did there. And that's sort of the problem with the show, because it's for very young children, and that's obvious. But for most young children, their parents will be watching with them, or the kids will force the parents to watch it with them. And it offers nothing. Most shows that, like, for very young children have to have something for the adults where the adults will go mad. But apparently not this show. There's also just a lot of overall, because all the characters are color coded for some reason. I feel like at this point in my series is just talking about the show and its world building and its character building and just sort of being like, why? And I know that doesn't sound nice and all, and like I'm bashing a kids show, but there comes a point where I honestly don't know what to say. Anyway, on to the actual drawing, because that's the important part. That's what you're watching. Even though it's tiny and I still don't know how to fix it, I'm really sorry if that annoys you. It annoys me so much, but I don't know how to fix it. So I'm really sorry if that annoys you, but maybe one day I'll fix it. Maybe one day I'll learn, but today's not that day. So about the drawing, the resolution of the original image was terrible. You could see the pixels and they were weird. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a better drawing for Astra, although I have sort of come up with a new method of trying to get the pictures, which I'm going to try from the next episode onwards, which is getting pictures from the website of Star Darlings, because I feel like they would have better resolution there, hopefully. I hope. Another problem is that the lights of the jacket, I don't want to make them white, because that's just a boring colour. It's not natural. It just adds a weird sort of tone to the entire drawing, because it's like, why is there just like this patch of brilliant white? But it's still not light enough, but I don't want to make it too light, and I still want to make it a colour. And that's sort of the problem with like making these characters color-coded, because they sort of just add a bunch of white to the designs and they just call it a day. Wherever they can't fill it in with a different color, or where people would usually fill it in with like a different color, like a red or a green or a blue, they just sort of know we have to stick to the orange color palette. What do we do? I know, let's add some white, because white is technically part of the orange color palette because of the color scale and things. And that's sort of the problem in this circumstance, is that they're sort of limiting themselves by doing this, and they're limiting me. Overall, this drawing, I'm not really proud of it. The pixelation is just weird. Hopefully by next episode it will get better. Here I'm just doing the background, trying to find a nicer colour. I just end up going with sort of like a yellowy colour. Thank you for watching my episode, Midnight Contemplations. It really helps, because then I know people actually want to watch this and I'm not just making garbage that no one watches. And yeah, I'll see you next time, hopefully. Remember to like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.